400 years ago a pastime for kings is today a supreme challenge in sport. For two young champions, the ultimate test is the Davis Cup final. American team captain Dial Yell discusses the ability of his star, Arthur Ashe, to meet this challenge.
Ashe has demonstrated over the year and a half that he is a winner under pressure, and that's why I feel confident when the Star Spangled Banner is played, Arthur Ashe will be out there.
70 years ago, when the first Davis Cup was presented, Ashe would not have been out there. Early tennis was an amusement for the whites and the rich, for aging kings, for girls and white ladies.
For those fortunate enough to belong to country clubs.
For those who didn't know what game to play.
Even a game for those closest to go.
You could afford to play tennis. You were still to take it seriously. Hollywood mocked it. Women saw it as another means to gain equality. Men didn't approve. And neither did man's best friend. Early tennis was so confining that the introduction of short pants caused a scandal. But as pants grew shorter, crowds grew larger. Tennis escaped its confines to emerge as the most popular and international game in the world. That internationalism is symbolized by the Davis Cup, the 1900 exclusive event between England and America. Gradually, as more and more nations participated, Davis Cup competition attracted great athletes from all over the world. Grimes and
Curry, Lacoste and Coltrane.
Tilden and Bud. Yet even these men would have
Found it hard to believe that eventually each year, 52 nations would compete over 8 grueling months to reach the Davis Cup final, making this event the most universal in sport. What better symbol could there be of the distance the game and the cup had traveled than the two young men facing each other in the opening match of the 1969 Davis Cup final? One, a young communist lieutenant from Romania. The other, the descendant of a slave. The pressure on both is described by the American coach.
When you're playing for your country, it puts a little more pressure on you, and it's something different when you go out there and you hear them say advantage United States or advantage Romania. Well, I do think that, the pressures of Davis Cup play are unique. They're unlike tournament competition. If Ashe can put us ahead 1-0, that's got to sort of release some of the pressure.
But the pressure is intense. Even the night before the match, Ashe had his fears.
I'll have trouble sleeping tonight, and I'll wake up very early tomorrow morning, like about 5. And the first thing that will race through my mind will be seeing the Stasi pick off seeming winners coming back at me at twice the speed.
Ashe soon shakes off his tension and shakes out his game. He goes on to win the first set. In every sport, there is a moment when the psychological pattern of the contest shifts to one side or the other. In the match between Arthur Ashe and Ilie Nastase, such a moment came during the second set. A dramatic seesaw battle with both players producing a magnificent array of forehands, backhands, and serves. Plays all or nothing tennis. He goes for broke at every moment. His style is uncompromising power, taking chances, going for winners. A style that suits fast services as perfectly as Nastase suits slow play. But despite his raw power, the inner man is as cool and detached as Nastase is fiery and temperamental. Ashe always let his racket do his talking. Words might have gotten him into trouble, and with the distance he had to climb up what he calls a slippery ladder. He could little afford the luxury of controversy. Ashe's biggest weapon, perhaps the finest serve ever in tennis, flies off a slick court at speeds up to 130 miles an hour. Ilie Nastase, already a young superstar, hardly fits the Western stereotype of a communist. He's a true romantic, a former sheep herder and current lover of rock music and college girls. Nastase plays and lives with all the flamboyance of a gypsy. Trained on the slow clay courts of Bucharest, Nastase's game is percentage tennis, where winning is a matter of wearing down your opponent in endless rallies and with lightning afoot. Despite gallant retreating, Nastase loses the hour-long second set to Ashe.
Playing waiting for him to double serve and you get a winner. That's not good enough. You have to really work on each player.
Nastase senses the end will be soon.
He can only hope to forestall the inevitable result of Ashe's thunderous and graceful ground strokes.
Ashe's path to the top epitomizes the social and
Physical struggle many athletes endure to become champions.
No one has come further than he. No one has defied the odds with so few compromises. His game, his style, is a reflection of his whole life, and this victory is proudest moment. You've come a long way, David. The last provides a vital first victory. The ultimate outcome will depend on Stan Smith, 6'4", 180 pounds, young and superbly conditioned. He will need all this and more, for he's playing his first Davis Cup single.
Stan will be very nervous, but I felt in picking Stan that he would win both his singles, and so I'm not too worried about the pressure.
He should have been. Smith's opponent
Jan Turier, a dark, brooding bear of a man,
is the psychological master of the game, with an uncanny ability to unnerve his opponent. Inexperience and nerve. Smith is especially vulnerable to the calculated tactics of argument and delay, accusation and menacing gesture. Later Smith was to say, I don't call it gamesmanship, I call it rudeness. By whatever name, it is effective. Smith's errors not. Romania's prospects drastically improved. The script was going awry. There was a villain, but was there a hero? The volatile Romanian is an extraordinary athlete, excelling in international karate and Olympic ice hockey, and his 15 years of Davis Cup experience presses heavily on Smith's youthful shoulders. Now behind 2-1 at the rest period, with Kiriak needing only one more set to win, Stan Smith was in desperate trouble. During the break, Smith felt that he was letting down his country. He had been unable to execute his game plan, a plan he discussed before the match began.
He's got a very sound backhand, and his forehand may be a little bit weaker, so I plan to serve a lot out wide to his forehand and make him move out and then volley back to the other corner.
In this, the fourth set, Smith's game plan finally starts to work. Stan Smith has been behind before. The general rule in tennis is that if a boy hasn't shown championship caliber by 16, he never will. At 16, Stan Smith couldn't even qualify to be a ball boy because of his clumsiness. But Stan gained strength from being behind.
Well,
Kiriak continues to argue. Smith is urged on by Dell.
Get that first ball, get in there fast. Hold your serve, work hard to break back.
Encouraged by his captain, Smith continues to attack. As Rod Laver puts it, Stan seems to be serving from a tree at 900 miles an hour. With this kind of power, he stuns Turiak and wins the long, vital fourth set, evening the match. And now into the final set. The match has gone on for nearly 3 hours beneath a brutal summer sun. Three-game strategies wilt under the punishing face of running and retrieving. Running and retrieving. It is no longer how they hit the ball, but whether they can get to it at all. grossly underrated test of physical stamina. Today, Yen Juriak and Stan Smith would each run over 25 miles at top speed. Hit the ball 2,000 times at well over 100 miles an hour, all on a bone-jarring cement court with little chance to rest. A far cry from the genteel Victorian game of 100 years ago. Smith's ability to win now depends totally on physical endurance. Can he survive? Dell urges his spent athlete on. Nearing the end, each point seems interminable. Smith punishes himself to stay in the match, pushing his body beyond normal limits. Leads 5 games to 4 and needs only one more game. Beyond that, he may not be able to go.
15 love.
40-15. One more point for victory. All eyes turn to the Americans. A bitter defeat. For Stan Smith, a victory he cannot fully savor. Near total exhaustion, his pulse stays at 180, long enough for the team doctor to become seriously worried. Finally, it comes down. Only then does he feel like a champion.
Needing only one more match to win the Davis Cup,
The United States enters the rain-delayed doubles with confidence. The American team, ranked among the best in the world, is comprised of Stan Smith and Bob Lutz, a swinger on and off
the court. Different from
singles. Doubles has a rhythm and grace all its own. Pattern of play emerges. The Americans drive Nastasi and Teriak back, forcing them to play defensive tennis. Loving and retreating. Their only hope is to break the fluid teamwork of the Americans. Doubles places special emphasis not
one physical endurance,
but rather on teamwork and strategy.
This is what
It can be played and enjoyed throughout
one's lifetime, long after a game of football
on a neighbor's lawn becomes awkward. Here today, the defensive strategy of the Romanians proves fatal against the team, so adept at overpowering its opponent with slams and overhead smashes. It seems as if the Romanians are playing out a drama that now can have but one ending. America has new heroes and a priceless silver ball. But it is not just a victory for America, nor for Ashton Smith, but a victory for the sport itself. A sport which stresses variety and individuality. A sport challenging enough for a lifetime. A sport for all. Watchers, weekenders, and champions.